Hi, this is Nancy Damiano, garden girl at twopeasinabucket.com with this week's episode of Memory Keeping Mondays. This week, we are going to explore pie charts. This is a trend that I have been seeing more and more of lately, and I've been wanting to try it. I think it's the perfect documentary style embellishment for a summertime page. Now let's take a look at how this page came together. All of this pattern paper is from the American Crafts Shoreline collection. There's a pretty salmon, and I'll show you the back side as well. Surfboards, this is going to be a favorite and a great place for journaling. Small teal squares, this will become part of our pie chart with small sailboats on the back. A nice salmon pink chevron, a floral, and I love this tiny wave pattern. And the surfboards. I definitely wanted to use this. Love the colors in that. But I probably will use one of the quadrants because the tinier print will be better for our pie chart. For a title, I used these stickers by American Crafts. These small remarks stickers, also by American Crafts. And then the small letters from Jelly Bean Soup. And I chose them in 4 colors that I thought would look great with the line. These are the stickers, also from the Shoreline collection. And they have great journaling spots. In particular, I'm going to look for a circular sticker, and there are quite a few of them in here. I also pulled these flags from Little Yellow Bicycle. They're from their splash line. And of course some flair. And then we'll add a little bit of washi tape to one of the embellishments. Now let's get started. I started out by cutting out a circle out of white cardstock. This circle is 9 1/4 inches. And right now I'm looking for the center of the circle. Now this white cardstock is going to become our template. And so I'm measuring out the sections of the pie. I know I want to leave one large section for the photos, which I just did. And then another medium section for another photo. And then I'll just divide the rest of it up into odd-sized pieces, always meeting in the center. Next, I'm going to write down in each part of the pie before I cut it out the photo, the title, and which pattern papers. This will make it much easier to put it back together again. Now cut each section very carefully. Now that I have all these sections cut out, I'm ready to cut the pattern paper. Now I have my template, and it says wave paper on it, so I know exactly which one to trace it on. Now the wave in this case represents the pool, and so it's a larger section of the pie, because we spend more time there in the summer. So keep that in mind when you're choosing the pattern paper to represent the different things that you do in the summer. Now that I have all my pattern paper cut, I will put it together on the page, and you can see that I left the photo sections out. Now I need those sections in order to cut the photo. I'm just going to lay it right on top. I made sure his face was right in the center, and then I'll just trim away the excess. Now for the collage section, I'll do things a little bit differently. I'm actually going to use that white cardstock template and mount my photos right on top of it. I'm going to measure this one out first, the top photo. Making sure again that I'm not cutting anything out that's pivotal to the picture. And I just wanted to get a slice of my son at the beach, so that's fine. And I'm going to adhere that right onto the template. It's easier to do it on this template than to try to fit it into the pie. Now I added two smaller photos in the center because that's where this pie piece is the widest, and I'm going to be able to fit multiple photos. And I'm not going to trace those out. I'm just going to glue those right on. And the last one is the summertime backyard photo. Flip it over and just trim. This is the easiest way that I've found to fill a pie with photos. Okay, now we're almost ready to get the pie glued down to the page. I'm just going to see where I'd like it exactly on the page. A little bit left of center so I don't cover up the pre-printed words on the pattern paper on the bottom right-hand corner. And also making sure that I maintain a circular shape. I will even tuck in a little bit. I'm not worried about all of the points meeting in the center because we're going to cover that up. I'm much more worried about keeping the shape even on the outside of the circle. Next, we're ready for the title. Now I use these letters, and before putting them down, I put them on this plastic sheet. I get these from Layered Stickers left over, and that let me lay out the letters perfectly without having to do that on the paper itself. This is a stacked title, and it's tone on tone. I didn't do it in white or black because while I do want you to be able to see it and for it to add texture to the page, I don't want it to be so bold that it takes away from the pie chart or the photos. Now I'm going to look for a circular sticker for the center of the pie. I'm going to use one with words, but since I'm going to add flair, I want something that doesn't have words on it. I chose something that looks like a sun, and then some flair, which matches the background of the yellow diagonal stripes. And now I'm going to add an embellishment of a small flag. And glue it down to the page with some washi tape. Now you're going to see this is going to change later on in the design, and I'll go over that when that happens. Okay, now I'm going to use a small circle punch and punch out one of the patterns from each of the pie pieces, and this will label them. You'll see I'll go back and forth trying to separate the two pinks. And then we'll use some of these small jelly bean letters for our labels. Now the percentage sign was made with a letter L and some of the dots from the letters I, and this sheet actually gives you a few extra. Now I went ahead and completed the bottom key part with the percentages and the labels. Now I'm taking a look at the flag, and I feel that it takes away from the pie chart. It takes your eye out of that circle and into a funny right-hand corner. So what I decided to do is take the flag and put it right into the pie chart. Again, keeping the focus on that pie chart. And I used the little leftover to add a little something there, just because I didn't want to throw it away probably. Now, see that upper hand salmon part looks very plain, so I'm going to layer a sticker there. Again, keeping it tone on tone so it doesn't fight with the title. And then I have an odd spot in the summertime title. And so what I'm going to do is use this navy blue and add the word pie. Next, I'm going to use some of the numbers from this sticker sheet from the shoreline, and I label each picture with the percentage that represents. So 20% for the beach photo at the top, 35% for the pool photo, and so on. And that just adds a little bit to the documentary style of the page. Thank you for joining me on this week's episode of Memory Keeping Mondays, and I can't wait to see the pie charts you create.